We've got another 2-box penny hunt. This is going to be episode number 42, boxes 70 and 71, and we're hoping we can add some sense to this Lincoln Penny album. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to my channel. Like I said in the intro, we've got another 2-box penny hunt. Now both of these boxes are from my Dallas-Fort Worth area, and of course, as you know, I had to pop the tops of them to make sure we have circulated cents, because finding circulated cents lately has been difficult, especially with pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Crazy. That being said, for those of you that are new to the channel or are not caught up, you can always check out my playlist, which starts this series from box 1, linked both down below as well as pinned up here for your convenience. For those of you already caught up, you'll recollect that we have 182 out of the 234 slots in this album completed through the first 69 boxes. Now, I'll go ahead and do a quick peek at the book just so we can refamiliarize where we're at. Obviously, we need a lot of the teens and 20s. We're stuck not finding 30s lately, but after that, we've got the majority of the cents slotted, a couple of small dates missing, which are tough to find, a couple of steal cents, which I don't even expect to find, although we found one. And after that, we need 1939 and less, and that's the majority of the cents that we still need. And there are some findable cents that are left out here, but there's also a lot of the key date and semi-key date finds, which we may never find in the hunts, but you never know. We did find a 1913S in one of our box hunts in the last couple of episodes, and that was a good find. Now that we're caught up, now that the boxes are already open, it's time to get this hunt going. I will tell you, when I popped the top of this box, I was a little excited because it looks like we have a good mix of dates, and I think I even saw right here a wheat cent in roll number 3, and it does have some reddish brown reverse showing, so that's a good sign, at least as far as condition. For today's hunt, I'll be using my Lincoln Penny Coin Hunts mat, and as you guys know, if you need any of my mats, I always have them listed down below as well as pinned up here in case you want to have something to do your hunts and organize all your finds with. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and get this first roll out if I can. It's tight. And we'll go ahead and begin the hunt. And as always, I'll bring you guys in if and when we have a first find. No finds to the first 2 rolls, and I'm bringing in because our first find will be this wheat cent ender. So let's crack it open, see what year it is, and pray it's got a friend with it. That beautiful looking wheat cent ender is going to be, hey, and that's a 1944 Denver, I believe. So we'll just put it under the scope. And it is, just checking for that D over S, which it isn't, but that might be an upgrader to the album. Pretty sure it's going to be because it's in great shape. First find, 1944 D, red brown, roll number 3. Roll number 4, wheat cent number 2, obverse facing, a 1940 Philly, oldest of the box. Well, it's been a bit, but we're on roll 23, and we just found our third wheat cent, and it's a 1941 Philly, and we do find those DDOs once in a while. There's 3 different ones, so I'm just going to double check this one really quick. And I don't see any doubling. But now we have 3 wheat cents, all from the early 40s. Well, holy cow. That was a tough box, guys. We finished hunting it, and despite having a wheat cent ender and a couple of wheat cents in the first few rolls, we only got 1 more wheat cent in the entire box, and that was roll 23, and in the last 27 rolls, nothing. 3 wheat cents. We did manage to score a pretty nice 44D, which I'm hoping will upgrade the album. And of a side note, we did get a pretty cool 1960 D small date with a pretty good die chip in the 6. But that's about it as far as fun finds. We scored 459s, which I just pull aside for myself. A couple of nice copper cents. We did have a 1960 large date Philadelphia minted memorial cent, but not the small date that we're looking for, and a 69S, not the DDO. Copper cup was about a little under half filled, maybe a little over a third, but light on the copper, light on the wheats, light on the fines. Box 70 is hunted. Time to move on to box 71. You guys know the drill. I'll start cracking rolls, and fingers crossed we get more than 3 wheat cents from that box. Well, the first roll of the second box is going to get us off to a quick start. We've got another 40s cent here, and this is a 1945 Denver. So 4 total finds all from the mid to early 40s. Roll number 60 of the 2-box hunt. We have made our 5th wheat cent. 1955, Denver. Roll 63, wheat cent number 6 of 51, Philadelphia. Roll 64, wheat cent number 7. And that's a 41 Denver. We don't need it, but good seeing a mint mark on an early 40s wheat cent. Roll number 72, wheat cent number 8. This one's going to be a 1957 Denver in pretty nice shape. Roll number 73, just grabbed it out of the box and flipped it around. We have a wheat cent, but it looks like we might be missing a coin as well. Let's see what year it is, and I'll let you guys know if it ends up being a cent short. That wheat cent ender for number 9 of the hunt. It's another 1940 Philadelphia. And for those wondering, I did count them in the roll. There is 50 total cents, so just a long wrapper. Roll number 75, halfway through the second box, will give us our 10th wheat cent finally of the hunt. And it's going to be a 1949 Denver. Roll number 78, and hiding towards the back of the roll is a corroded wheat cent. It'll be the 11th of the hunt. Let's hope it's old. And it's not old. It's just corroded. 1952, might have a mint mark. And it does. 52 Denver, wheat cent 11. Roll number 85, we have a dozen wheat cents. This one is a 1956 Denver. Roll number 92 has our 13th wheat cent of the hunt, and that makes double digits for this box, 10. But that's just another 1956, but from Philly this time. Well, that's going to do it for that 2-box penny hunt. We have now completed 71 boxes, and based on the finds on the board, I don't think we have any additions. I'm almost certain we have no additions, but maybe we have an upgrade or two off the check. 13 wheat cents, 3 in the first box, 10 in the second, nothing older than 1940, which has been my issue lately, trying to find those 30s and earlier. It's been tough. We got 1 Canadian cent, 8 59s, only those 2 nice coppers, nothing in the second box, and only 169S. But we did manage to fill the copper cup, or just about fill it, 95%, and I'll always take copper for my stack. On top of that, you saw the die-chipped 60D small date, but I had an interesting find here. This 1987 Denver, while it looks like it could be missing clad, I'm not quite sure, or missing copper plating, I should say. Not quite sure, because it does have kind of a green patina, and that could be some of the zinc that is decaying over time. But typically on these, you want to see less green look to them and more of just the stark white, if you will, from the zinc. Either way, I'll pull it aside and put it with my other potential missing plating cents that I have found, but I'm pretty certain it would not get the designation, although it doesn't look too bad, and it was fun to see it by the edge in the roll. Let me go ahead and check the finds versus the album, bring you back in with a recap and some final thoughts. Well, I've compared the finds to the album, and we were able, as expected, to upgrade that 44D. The one that we had was brown, and even though that one just has a tint of red to it, it's still nicer. I'll also say that we had a better 41D that I didn't slot, because the 41D that I had found that had more detail had a nice scratch across Lincoln's brow, if you will. So no sense pulling this one out for one that's damaged, although it had better detail. Outside of that, we are hard stuck at 182 out of 234 cents found. We need a box that has some 30s finds if we're going to make any more progress on this album. Either way, we'll continue the hunts. We only have 71 boxes down, and I'm curious to see what we'll end up with after 100 boxes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 2-box penny hunt and fill episode despite the lack of finds. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.